Hi folks, welcome to another episode of Ferrum Wrestling 411. I'm Gary Holden, your host. With me is head wrestling coach Nate Yetzer and assistant coach Daniel Ownbey. Fellas, welcome.
Hey, thanks, Gary.
Let's talk a little bit about the pre-Thanksgiving. You guys went up to Alliance, Ohio, and went 4-0, beat two ranked teams. Let's start off by talking about how the guys felt after that day. It must have been an amazing feeling for them to be able to go up there and win four and knock off a couple big dogs.
Well, I think it was a big step for our program, and I don't think our guys were completely shocked. I mean, I think they've definitely earned it and put in the work. So I think that's always good when they kind of expect that. So it's just we got a great junior class, and those guys really stepped up, and especially Tate came down to them 3 times and won all three. He won all 3 matches. So
talk about 285 Tate Delaney.
Yep.
So the matches that he had to win. So all the matches started off at 125, went up to 285. They didn't stagger the weight classes for the starts or anything. How nice is it for you to go into a match having a guy that's been around for a couple of years and have that anchor at the end for you?
It was huge. I mean, especially when you have I call it the bookends. You have a good 25, good 33, good heavyweight. That can really help start off dual meets in a good way, and then end. If it comes down to them, he's going to be clutch. So
sure.
He's really great. I mean, Tate's really grown as not only as a wrestler but as a leader. So you're glad to see that of him. So
and he's a junior. You got one more year after the season.
Yep.
Great. Well, let's talk a little bit about each one of the matches. You opened up that day. You had Washington and Jefferson came away with a 29-13. Anybody stand out in that match as a real big win for you?
What would you say? I think Robert beating the Spearman kid from Washington Jefferson, who was a top 8 kid. I think that was a pretty big win. And really, it wasn't even that close. Robert controlled the whole match.
Really?
So I think that was a pretty big win. There was up and down the line, just a couple good wins. So it was a good dual week.
You had 3 guys that came out with 4-0 records on the day. You had Robert at 133. You had Tate Delaney at 285, and then you had one more wrestler that came out with 4 wins. Who was that? Hunter Gulak, 184. That's got to be a nice. I notice he's got like an 11-2 record now through the first part of the year and everything. He's got to be a real good shot in the arm for your team and everything. Daniel, you've been you were at UNC Pembroke. How big is it to have a freshman come in and make that type of impact for you?
I mean, it's huge. Not only is it encouraging for him, but it's encouraging for the other freshmen to see that he's having success. And so he bought in about 2 months before the season, getting his weight under control, buying into the system, doing everything we asked him to. And so now I think the other freshmen are seeing that since he's buying in, he's having success, and so they're wanting to buy in as well. And so not only is it huge to have a freshman to have success, but it's also huge for the other freshmen to witness the success and actually want to be a part of the success as well.
You want that to be a contagious thing with those young wrestlers and everything. So does it put him, coach, in a situation where kind of a leader to the younger wrestlers?
Yeah, I do think so. Obviously when I asked him to be the outspoken leader, because he's so young and he's got some stuff. As a freshman, there's going to be times where he struggles as well too. But I think but by example, I think is the biggest thing. Just showing what when you do things the right way. I mean, Hunter's diet's been awesome. You just look at his body, you can tell he does things the right way. He's chiseled up for a freshman, and he's having success, and he's gotten better every weekend, and that's what you look for. So we don't have to deal with the other stuff with him as far as wanting to go home, wanting to do this, wanting to do this. You don't have to deal with it with him. He's dependable, which as a freshman is a rare thing. So.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. The next match, you wrestled Lycoming, the number 23rd ranked team in the nation. 22-17 win. Again, it comes down to Tate comes through with the big win for you. Beats a decent wrestler 3-2. Right. Was that as close as the score was?
Oh yeah, it was really close. I mean, they're a good team. I mean, they're I think the whole weekend they were probably from top to bottom the most solid team. Every guy they had was pretty good. We matched up with them pretty good too. So, but I think they get a lot of Pennsylvania kids, and that's obviously one of the hotbeds of wrestling in the country.
Sure.
I mean, I think they're in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton area, but I think that's still a pretty big wrestling area anywhere in Pennsylvania. So.
Yeah, the whole state of Pennsylvania is good wrestling.
Right,
You pretty much wrestled 3 Pennsylvanias and an Ohio,
right,
which
exactly,
are probably Pennsylvania and Ohio are probably 2 of the top 5 states in the country for
absolutely,
wrestling. So.
Absolutely. So, but I think that was the match. That was really, really close. I think the closest match we had. So but they're definitely a good team, and our guys came to wrestle, and even some of the guys that lost, they fought the whole time.
Sure.
And that's important in a dual meet, because obviously if you get blown out or you get pinned or teched, that hurts you bad, score wise. So.
Yeah, you can win a bunch of decisions, but give up a couple of easy pins, and the match can flop the other way and everything quickly.
Yep.
So, all right, the next you had another Pennsylvania team, Teal. Don't know much about their program, but it was a 21-18 match. Again, came down to Tate Delaney having to come through with the win. The match was tied 18-18 going into his match. Any matches during that dual meet stand out as really key focus, pivotal matches for you?
Josh Holden?
Meister at 57. That was a
sudden victory match.
Yep, that was tight. And, he got to the legs, picked the dude up, and threw him down. And won the match in overtime. And conditioning is phenomenal. And the kid he wrestled really good. Really sneaky. Kind of faked like he was kind of tired, then kind of shot in, and had some unique tools. But Logan did a good job of staying on him and sticking to what he does well. And I think that was a big one. I think Adam Fitzwater was huge. That kind of I think we were losing going into 97, and Fitzwater got the fall for us, which was huge. And, but then it came down to Tate, and Tate stepped up again against a kid that was in the top 20 in the country, and beat him. So
those last two weight classes really kind of carried you through. You were losing. Then the Lycoming match, he comes up with a pin to put you out in front, and then you were losing again by, I guess it would have been about, looks like you were losing 18 to 12 or something like that. He comes up with a pin and then gives you the win there.
Yeah, I mean, Adam did a great job. Adam really responded. He lost the first match. That didn't look really good. Didn't look real sharp. But he came back and with his two falls, and that's critical. And I think big hats off to him. He sucked it up. And
this is a kid that's wrestling up a couple weight classes. Was it
right,
74
last year? Yep.
So.
And, he had the frame to get bigger. I'm not sure he's quite a 97 yet, but he sucked it up, did a great job. So
that's great.
Carried us. Yep.
That's great. All right, the last match of the day, Mount Union, the highest ranked team you wrestled, ranked 15th in the nation. Match was came right down to it at the end. We were winning looks like we were winning 16-14, and the winner of the heavyweight match, or the 285, was going to do it again, and Tate once again comes through for you.
Absolutely, yep. He went to, I think, double overtime with that kid last year for Pete Wilson Invitational, triple overtime, and I think he won that match as well, too. So, obviously, we felt it was going to be another tight match. But I think Tate really controlled the match from start to finish, even though the score was somewhat close. I think Tate really was in control the whole time. So. We had a couple guys step up. Paul Biggs stepped up huge and beat a pretty good kid. Actually dominated him. I think he got close to
10-3. Yeah.
Yeah, almost got the major. And then Robert had a big win.
Did he almost have a major?
I think it was a little close, but I mean that kid's a pretty good kid. He wrestled.
Cunningham.
Yeah.
4-1 win. I saw that Zimmerman lost to that ranked kid, Mancini kid from Union.
But that he got taken down, put to his back right away. So it was 6-0. So I mean, but the third period he really controlled. He got the kids like 3 times and didn't score any of them. That's one thing he needs to be working on. Going into this weekend, finishing takedowns. He can get to anybody's legs. I think he finally started wrestling hard the last 2 periods, which the kid that good, you can't get down 6-0. And but I think Zimmerman's right there. That kid's 3rd in the country right now.
Was his conditioning pretty good?
Absolutely, yeah. But I think the other kid was. I think as a whole, our conditioning was way better than Mount Union's.
Really? Hopefully that'll carry you guys as you move forward and everything. Well, let's talk about moving forward. Now, this weekend, you guys are going up to Pennsylvania, going up to York College.
Right. Yep.
New Standard Invitational. You and I talked about this earlier. You felt like the team didn't really wrestle up to its capabilities last year. How do you feel we are right now going into that tournament?
I think our guys are in a good place right now. I think they have a little more confidence. Some of our younger guys are. I think they're getting to that point of the season where they're starting to get really tired. But this is the part where you have to push through that. You know what I mean? And this is a big growth period for our young guys. Learning how to get past that of feeling tired, feeling homesick.
Do your homework.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, and get past that and continue to do the things that you're asked to do. And for older guys, I'm sure they're excited to get back. I mean, obviously we were out. I think we had 2 or 3 starters out last year for this event, but we did not wrestle well. And I think going in this event, I feel a lot more confident that we'll respond better. So I think we only had 2 placers last year here.
Sure. Daniel, when you were in college, the right around the time of finals, this is a particularly difficult time because you still got to focus on keeping your weight under control. You got to work towards getting ready for your finals and everything, get your right sleep, eat and everything. How big is it for some of the younger wrestlers to kind of learn that lesson their first time in college?
I think it's huge for them to learn it, but I also think it's difficult for them to learn it. I think that I know I made the mistake my freshman year of not really keeping my weight under control, especially during finals. You're about to go home, and so I think as a whole so far, especially coming back from Christmas break, everybody's weights was really well kept, and so I'm hoping that they can see that, go home for Christmas break, have a good time, but still keep their weights under control. But as a freshman, I know it's really difficult to have that discipline when you haven't really had it before.
Sure. And you guys have a situation where you wrestle this tournament, you take a week off, you have your finals and everything, and then you go back, you have another match in between there and Christmas. You go up to the Gator Boots duels, and that's another great dueling tournament down there. There'll be some great teams down there, I'm sure. So do you think that will help your kids with keeping things under control because they know, okay, I got finals and everything, but it's not feeding time yet.
Right.
I still got to keep my weight under control.
Yeah, I mean, you'd hope, you know what I mean? And I think we have enough experience now where, the older guys, they know what it's all about, and, they know there's light at the end of the tunnel, they'll get a little bit of a break after that. But obviously, between the new standard and the Gator Boot duels last year, that was our worst time, and Virginia duels, those 3 tournaments all back to back were, we did not wrestle very well at all at any of those. But I think, I think guys kind of remember that, and hopefully we'll turn around this year. Gator Boot duels, I think we went 0-4 last year. So I think it's, and we were in about every match besides one, so I think.
You wrestled like 3 ranked teams in that tournament.
Right. Yep. And this year we'll probably wrestle three more. I signed us up to wrestle some of the best ones there. So
you get to request who you want.
Yeah, you don't get them all the time. Same as Mount Union. We got 2 out of the 4 I think I requested. So which were I think Washington, Jefferson, and Mount Union. But for the Gator Boot duels, same thing, and it's actually probably a little even better than the Mount Union duels. So it'd be fun to see where we are, and hopefully we can leave there. Feeling good about ourselves going into Christmas break.
Sure. Now, last year the tournament was hosted by one of the teams like in Iowa or something.
Yeah.
Who's hosting the tournament this year?
Luther College again.
College
Yep.
again?
And it's going to be held at McGavick High School in Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay, Nashville, Tennessee.
Same place last year. So.
Great.
Yep.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing how good you guys do there. So we'll talk more next week and everything when we come back, after you come back from this tournament and everything. We'll talk a little bit about the schedule going forward and everything. But I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the individual performances so far.
Yeah.
You guys have obviously started off with a 5-0 start, best record so far for us.
Right.
Those 2 wins over nationally ranked programs, those are the first. Those are, it just seems like, the young program 3 years in, and we just continue to hit a lot of firsts and firsts and firsts and firsts.
Right. Yep.
I know you guys have got some, your radar on, not so much a first-time NCAA qualifier because you had that with Logan Meister, but your first All-American, your first national champ down the road.
Right. I mean, the goal is to break down the wall. I mean, not just sneak a few more guys through. The goal is, to knock down that wall and qualify 3 or 4 or 5 guys and have a couple All-Americans. I definitely think we're capable. We have the guys. I mean, the guys, especially our junior class. Even some of our freshmen. They wrestle really well, and so I do think we're. The lineup's by no means set either. We have a couple weights we need to figure out. 3 in particular that we need to kind of figure out who the guy's going to be going forward. But obviously we have time to kind of figure that out. But
sure. A lot of matches to help figure those things out.
Exactly.
So.
Yep. So, but things are by no means set. But I kind of like where we are right now. So.
Okay. As a former wrestling coach myself, I've always thought it was good to have 2 coaches who are different ends of the spectrum weight-wise and everything. And I know, Nate, you work out with a lot of the heavier guys. You've done that for years and everything. How nice is it for you to have someone like Daniel, a 141-pound national champ, 2-time national champ, to work out with a lot of your lighter guys?
I think it's huge. I mean, here's a guy who's lived it. You know what I mean? He's fresh out of college. Things haven't changed that much in 1 year. So hopefully they can see that. What he's telling them, there's a reason, and he's had success for a reason, and this is why. And I think. Especially where we are as a program, our better guys right now are probably our lighter weights. We're too young up top for the most part. So And that's kind of one of the selling points I tried to sell Daniel. Like, hey, come here, you can really put your stamp on this program by by working out with Zimmerman, a Cunningham, Colin Saunders, Jordan Jones, like all those guys up and down, Paul Biggs, and I think it's definitely exciting. So.
Daniel, do you feel as though the guys are responding well to the words of wisdom that you're giving them on and off the mat?
Oh yeah, you can.
For the most part.
For the most part. You can,
Welcome to the world of being a coach, huh?
Yeah. You can. The ones that are taking my advice are flourishing and doing extremely well, and the ones that are still kind of fighting me, you can still tell that where the gaps are. But
how does it feel to be on the other side of the whistle now? Because you've now seen it in very short spans of time from both sides. You were one of those guys that coach was trying to get you to buy in, and obviously you must have bought in, winning 2 national championships and being a 4-time All-American. Has it been an eye-opening experience for you to be on the other side?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's way easy worrying about yourself. You know what I mean? As coaches, you got to worry about 32 other guys. I always tell people coaching is way harder than competing.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, there's a lot of sleepless nights. And
you're not just worried about yourself as a coach, you're worried about everyone else. Kind of like when you're an athletic administrator, you're no longer just worried about your program, you're worried about your program and John's and Susie's and Mike's. And,
you get to hear about everybody's problems. You know, and that.
I wanted to mention you got that middle area weight class. Logan Meister, Josh Alston. Combined, those 2 guys are 13-1 with 2 pins this year. Got to be pretty excited about having such a solid weight class there in the middle to help, because that really helps the guys that are right below them weight wise and guys right above them and everything.
Right,
You're pretty pleased with those 2 guys.
Absolutely. I mean, we got to find a way to probably both need to be in the lineup somehow, but we got to figure that out. We got a little time to do it, but. I mean, I don't think either one's lost this year, So, besides, I think, obviously Josh lost to Logan once, but
neither one has lost to someone from another college.
Yep. So it's a good problem to have, both. They work extremely hard. You go in the room, they're 2 of the hardest workers. So there's no secret how to be good in this sport.
Hard work does it all. I watched
Exactly,
Logan. I watched Logan Meister up doing stadiums with one of the wrestlers the other day, and for a half hour straight they just kept running those things, and I was worn out just watching them.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, man.
So, well, listen, fellas, thanks so much for coming on. Good luck this weekend. We'll get back next week. We'll come back next week, folks, and we'll do a wrap up of the new Standard Invitational and wish everyone happy holidays. And I want to thank you guys for coming in again.
Thanks, Gary. I appreciate it.
thank you.
All right, folks, that's a wrap. We'll see you next week on Ferrum Wrestling 411.